Maybe you should say it.
We've been keeping a secret. That's how the accident happened. YouTube is an interesting beast.
But the long-term vision for sailing, I think, is...
When we start this new channel, there might be a lull. I got a phone call saying that Takana had caught fire. I couldn't believe it. Okay, that's recording.
Okay, do we have to do a clap?
Yeah. Should I put it on here so it can get both of us, or I'll just hold it?
You can clip on my shoulder.
Is that going to annoy people though if I do that? I'll just hold it.
Alright.
Okay.
Can I wear my glasses? I'm so squinty.
We have a lot to catch up everybody on.
A lot.
We've been keeping a secret from you guys. Well, not really a secret because our patrons knew, and I think a lot of people knew.
Yeah, we are 1 year behind.
Not
on our
anymore though.
videos. And we're now up to date.
We're now up to date.
We're up to real time. This is, when you watch this, it would have been recorded like 2 days before you see it.
Yeah, and we're in Morocco.
We're in Morocco.
We have a lot to talk about in this episode. We're going to catch you up on what we've been up to over the past year. John's life as a pilot and how that's working with our lifestyle.
Future sailing plans.
Takana is gone.
Takana burnt down.
Yeah. And we're going to start a new channel.
Because this one's no good.
Yeah,
Nah.
I think there's some big topics there.
Yeah, and just to give you a quick overview of the places we have been.
We've been to 15 countries in the last year.
In the time that you were watching the 55 series. And we never intended, I gotta say, I don't think it was ever our intention to fall that far behind with the videos. It's just that they took a lot longer to put out, and I think Kristina really likes them to be schmicko before she puts them out, so it takes a little while.
And I just quickly want to say in regards to that, we were on board for 7 weeks, which is around 50 days. And so we put out 23 or so episodes. So essentially every 2 days was an episode. That's how much...
That was a jam-packed trip. It was hectic.
There was so much to see and I couldn't put that camera down. And so that's how the accident happened. That's how it became a year. The sailing's not over.
Our plan is, it's funny because when we started sailing, we weren't really sure whether we were going to enjoy it. We just knew that it was a bit of a COVID project. I only had 1 year off of work, so we knew we were going to be sailing for a minimum of 1 year.
What have we learnt this trip? A lot. Some people have said they can't believe we're still together. That is true. What was your favourite thing about the trip?
I think the highlight was the exploring. Massively rewarding. And it's turned into like a 3-year sailing kind of adventure.
Yeah.
That's taken us to Greece,
Bahamas.
all over the Mediterranean and the east coast of Australia.
Yeah.
In the space of 3 years, all while working a job, keep maintaining a job as an airline pilot.
Can I just say it's been so important that you've kept your job as an airline pilot, not only because you love it and it gives you purpose, but it's also creates so much stability for us in our lives. Obviously, YouTube is an interesting beast, particularly because we're a small to medium-sized channel.
Small to medium.
Would you say?
It's funny, I remember Mum asked me once, she's like, when does short haul finish and long haul start? And then Mum started calling it, what is she called, short long haul?
So for those people who don't know what short and long haul is, short haul is like...
Generally a narrow body, single aisle. Anyway, digressing.
You just put pilot cap on.
When I was flying long haul wide body aircraft, I had a lot of time off between trips, and Kristina and I would just pick a flight and jump on a plane and go away for 10 days, 2 weeks, and travel. And Kristina started to make travel videos out of those. A couple of her really popular ones have almost hit 1 million views. Go check those out. Amsterdam, Seville, what else do you have? Paris. They nearly all got 1 million views. So they've done really well, and that's why it's called Kristina's Travels, not Kristina's Sales or Kristina and John Sales. Then when we started sailing, it was like, well, I'm gonna make videos about sailing, and then that's how it became like a sailing channel. But what we're realizing now is that the people that love the sailing videos don't necessarily love the traveling videos, and the people that love the traveling videos don't necessarily like the sailing videos.
And then there are some people who love both.
So we'll keep the sailing channel going with sailing content. We're working on we have got a few little ideas up our sleeve about what we'd like to do next with sailing, but the long-term vision for sailing, I think, is eventually to buy our own boat again and then just set off on a unlimited sort of sailing program.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that it's on this channel where that will happen, because when we started sailing on Tucana, we had 5,000 subscribers, and now obviously it's built up to 160 or so. And so I would say we grew our audience sailing.
Yeah, thank you for watching.
Thank you so much. Like, we didn't know where this was all gonna go and take us. Obviously, we just wanted to get out of Melbourne during COVID, and for this now to become my job.
Thanks to you guys.
And I don't want to say my job, because it's not like
It is your job.
Yeah.
It is. You'd be back at work if you weren't making YouTube videos.
And you know what? That is a really great
Not so
opportunity to say thank you as well to our patrons, because that really supports us and our sponsors. And you know what? I want to thank the sponsor of this episode, EcoFlow. And we've actually been taking out a product that they sent to us a couple of months back, and we've been putting it through its paces, and we've been taking it to some really interesting locations, like the middle of the Sahara Desert and the top of Mount Etna, which is the tallest volcano in Europe. The new EcoFlow Power Hat has built-in solar panels, so you can keep your devices charged up. It can charge your phone fully in around 3 to 4 hours, which is perfect for when you're camping, hiking, or at the beach. If you're off grid and you get stranded, you'll be able to keep devices like a head torch, GPS, and phone charged up, so you can make those important calls in an emergency. There's a USB and USB-C socket, so you can charge 2 devices simultaneously. And I think my favorite thing about it is that it completely folds up and it can fit in the backpack. We're about to get on a train. I'm just going to charge it up quickly now. Okay, so that was a great little segue. Thanks for that.
Oh, it is charging. You might have seen EcoFlow on some other boats as well. It's a popular sponsor for the YouTube channels because it ties in well with the sailing lifestyle.
EcoFlow has also launched a new portable power station, the Delta Pro 3, which stores solar energy during the day, so you can use it at night and power your boat or household appliances. Make sure you click on the link below for your early bird special from EcoFlow. Tucana is gone.
Tucana burnt down. So in COVID, as you might know, we took a year off. Kristina quit her job as a journalist. We bought a boat and sailed up the east coast of Australia over the course of, lockdown.
We have sails in front of us. What the actual heck?
We then sold that boat when I had to go back to work. The owner of that boat had it for about a year.
We have to sell Tucana, our 50-foot yacht. Someone is flying here in 48 hours.
Go back and watch our series on the East Coast Adventure.
Thanks, John.
Maybe you can you've got a playlist, right?
Yeah, I'll add it in the description.
And so yeah, Tucana. Do you want to tell everyone about what happened with Tucana? By the way, we really love the people we sold the boat to. They're taking great care of it.
The pair are from Melbourne, the city where we bought Tucana almost a year ago.
They were on the way down to Tasmania when disaster struck, sadly.
I was at home. I got a phone call saying that Tucana had caught fire. I couldn't believe it.
We didn't want to bother them because we knew that something was going on.
And he sent us a photo of Tucana in the distance.
Yeah, while he was on the rescue boat, we were the first people they called to tell about it. So essentially, they had a fire on the boat that they were unable to contain. They'd recently had some work done on it, not quite sure exactly what the source of the fire was, but they were unable to put it out, and they erred on the side of caution. They hopped off. It was a pretty windy day, it was rainy, and I think that the boat was unable to be recovered.
Yeah.
By the time they'd gone back out to look for it, sadly it had sunk.
Yeah, we actually have a photo of it burnt down to the waterline, really.
Yeah, which I think was taken by the supply boat. So anyway, very sad there.
Super
We're very
sad.
glad that they're safe. Sad end for our poor baby Tucana.
I was shattered for like a week.
It's very sad.
Like I would cry.
Yeah, I think the new owners were very upset as well. It was a nice boat and it was well looked after, and
I think for people who like have had a boat or like a van or somewhere that's taken to you to some like incredible places, it's not only the item, which is obviously replaceable, but it's the memories associated with the vessel.
You have a connection with it.
Total connection. Like it felt like I remember at the time saying I feel like I've lost a family member, and it's true. Like I would just well up. Wow, I didn't think that an item or a thing or a vessel would make me feel that way. But
yeah, so maybe if you guys are interested in that, we could have a chat to Fred, the owner of that boat. But I'm very glad to say they've since gone on to buy another boat and continue with their sailing adventures, so they weren't put off by it, which is credit to them.
Yeah, so good. And they went on to sail to Tassie with it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we just want to let you
Yeah.
know. We asked for his permission to share it with you guys, and they said yes. So since the 55, John's been doing his roster on, roster off, which is 1 month flying, 1 month traveling. And initially it was a bit of an adjustment, but we've sort of found our feet and we have been crossing off a heap of countries. Morocco is country 60 for us, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we have done a heap of travel this year, 15 countries. We've really wanted to just squeeze in as much as we can because John's month on month off was only...
it's a 2-year deal and I'm coming up to the end of that pretty shortly,
so
in about
we're
6 months' time.
going to try and negotiate for that to be longer. We have been to some really cool destinations.
New Zealand, hiking in New Zealand.
Sometimes you have to climb mountains.
Japan. And what are you going to do?
We're going to try the $15 strawberry.
You get one strawberry for $15.
We did a road trip in the US, Utah, Mammoth, Vegas. Vegas was fun.
Yep.
Georgia,
Wow, look at the view.
amazing.
Azerbaijan,
Malta,
Sicily,
Poland,
Hungary,
Czech Republic.
Austria,
I did a bit of China,
Morocco.
Morocco, Bali,
So it has been a hectic year.
Dubai.
Dubai for Rowan's wedding.
Yeah.
Canberra, that doesn't count. A lot of domestic travel in between. The reason that it works for us and we're able to travel is working for an airline. We get really cheap flights. They're all standby, so you're never really sure where you're going to end up.
For example, standby means if the plane is full,
You don't get on.
you don't get on. You get stuck in an airport.
Yeah.
And you get pushed onto the next flight, which is fine because, you know, the price of the flight is heavily reduced.
It's heavily reduced, and that's how we're able to travel. However, Kristina is still very busy on our months on making these videos. We're only able to maintain this lifestyle for the both of us because of you guys watching and supporting Kristina's videos.
When we start this new channel, there might be a lull. And that is something that is scary. Like, we're going out on a limb starting a new channel.
Help us get over the hump,
Yeah.
the travel hump of starting a new channel.
Because the monetization on this channel, and I mean, I don't know we have to get into it, but when you're not putting out videos, you're essentially not making any money.
You have to keep on making videos.
For the algorithm to love you.
It's like a job. You
Yeah.
get paid for the videos that you produce.
John, what has been your favourite place that we've...
Oh,
because we
that's
want to
too
give them a
tough.
taste. We want to give them a taste of what we've...
Oh, that's really tough. Man, I just love Europe. Sicily has been great. I love Sicily.
You love Sicily and
Yeah,
all
I really
those
love Sicily.
locations?
Yeah, the food, the sights,
Ah,
the
okay.
water, everything. It's amazing. I think I look like I got a gut here. Damn it.
That's from all the...
I got a pizza. Speaking of pizzas, holy
all the pizza.
We're going to keep the two channels going. We're not like forgetting about the old channel. The two channels are going to be running in parallel. So when we have more details on our next sailing adventure, we're going to be updating you on what's going to be happening and posting them on our sailing channel.
Yep.
And on the travel channel, you'll get caught up to what we've been doing over the last year.
Head over to the new channel. I'm going to put it in the comment section below. I'm going to pin it. I'm going to put it in the description, and I'll put it up there somewhere. I would be so appreciative if you're into our travels to subscribe.
And just leave a comment and mention that you've come across from the sailing channel maybe.
Yeah, what's next in terms of sailing?
Okay, from this point forward, we'll be doing lots of travel still. I'll still be flying, and we're going to take a chunk of time to do a new sailing project. We're not quite sure exactly what that is. We've got a few ideas that we're working on. Some of them involve a catamaran, some of them involve an ocean crossing, some of them involve
A monohull?
a monohull.
But if you guys have any ideas, like we have our own ideas.
Yeah, where would you like to see us sail?
Yeah.
And what would you like to see us sail?
Yeah, because we have options for vessels potentially, but we would like to hear maybe what locations, because we haven't really set any locations in place.
No.
Yeah.
So this is the end of our month off. And we're heading back to Casablanca to fly back to Australia for a month of work, and Kristina's going to be busy editing
Yeah.
for the next month.
Yep, I sure will be.
Locked away in your little editing dungeon.
Yeah.
The other thing with the 55, we just want to say thanks for watching that. Everyone who's gone to boat shows and shown interest in the boat, or actually gone on to purchase the boat, we're blown away with the number of people that actually were interested enough in the boat to purchase one.
Yeah, your messages have really, and your emails and that feedback has really touched our hearts, really.
Yeah, and it's been great for us also to be able to go back to Jeannot, who lent us the boat, for them to be able to like justify the whole project, having lent us the boat for such a...
It was a bit of an experiment.
Yeah, it was a
wasn't
bit of an
I mean,
experiment.
we just went on an adventure and then it just turned out to be this 1 year thing.
That's us. We gotta go.
Okay, but now we're up to real time, and now you're going to be seeing all our awesome travel adventures on the other channel. If you have any other questions, let us know in the comments below.
We have a train to catch.
And we'll see you over on the other channel in the meantime.
Oh, and we're going to be changing the names of the channels. We don't know what yet, how it's going to look.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Christina's Travel is probably going to become Christina's
Sailing.
Sailing.
So I was thinking about changing this channel to Christina's Sails
Yeah.
and the other one to Christina's Travels.
Featuring John.
Or John and Christina's Travels and Christina's Sails. Or John and Christina's Sails.
Or
and
John
Christina's
Sails
Travels.
with Christina. Or John Travels
Can
with
you let us
Christina.
know as
John's
well
Travels.
in the
I think it's
comments
got a
below.
ring to it. Maybe I'm going to start my new YouTube channel. It's called John's Travels. Subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. All right, we're going to miss this train. We're going to go.
All right.
All right, cool. Cut.
I want to say love you guys. Love you. I do. I love you.
All right.
Bye.